So as you may or may not have known, the Roblox Hunt has been going on for a couple days now, and I myself streamed the entire event and just beat it and got to 95. I know there's 100 games, but I just did 95 for the stream. Here's a couple clips from the stream that I thought were good. Behind me. Yo! Oh my god, I just rinsed all of them! Did you see that? Oh my god! Yo! I'm still going! Yo! Oh, bring it on, bro.
Nice headshot.
Dude, we're zooming right now with these kills. Gotta go. 19 seconds. Oh, dude, he's caught me. He caught me. I gotta get over there. No, 15 seconds. You're kidding. Yes, he went the opposite way.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, get your ankles taken. Oh, my God. Let's go. It's lagging. Oh, my God. Is that the end of the world? Is this the end of the world, or am I just not loading? That's the end of the world. How do you get the badge in this one? There's an item that drops on one of the quadrants of the map, and the first person to get it gets the badge. I have a 1 in 4 chance of getting it right here, since there's someone there, and then there's someone over there. And... oh my gosh. Ain't no way, dog. Ain't no way. Hey, yo. Let's go, dude. That's how you get the badge, if you were wondering. Those were all pretty much from the third stream because I forgot to mark down the ones for the first and the second one because I'm a bonehead. But for today's video, we're just going to do a quick little tier list of how easily obtainable each badge is for each game. So a good game could end up getting a bad score, but it's not because the gameplay is bad, it's because of how long it takes to get the badge. It's not because of how good or not the game is. I need to emphasize that. They're going to be my personal opinion, so you might have a different tier list, you might move some things here or there. I don't know. I just thought this would be a cool little fun video of what games I rank where. So let's get to tier listing, right? So we have ourselves the S category, the A, B, C, D, F, and nil, because there's 5 that I have not played. Actually, you know what? Instead of saying I didn't do all 100, let me actually go do them real quick. Alright, so I got to 99, and the last one that I haven't beaten is the Combat Warriors one, but I'm just gonna stop for now because this one takes ages to do. Combat system is really fun in this. If you like gore and you like combat, that game's definitely for you, but I just had the experience of understanding what the game's about, so I can give it my honest opinion on the hunt. So to make it easy, the 5 badges that I just saw right down here, we have ourselves All-Star Tower Defense. This one's pretty cool. If you're a fan of tower defenses and anime, this will be in your range. It's a solid B. Nothing too crazy. It's really easy to get, so if you want something easy, that's good for you. Driving Empire is another easy one. You just have to complete 3 races and then collect 30 eggs around the map. And there's more than 30 eggs, so it's another simple one. So I'm borderline A on this, but I'm gonna put it as B. Next up is Combat Warriors. Combat Warriors is cool. It's a cool game, but hunt-wise, it takes ages to do. So if you're looking to get badges quick, this is not a game you're gonna get pretty quickly. Unless you're absolute god tier at getting kills, this will be for you. But hunt-wise, I'm gonna put this as D because it takes quite a long time. But it is a good game with good combat physics. Next one is Steep Steps. I like this one. It's very fun and challenging, but hunt-wise, it does take a minute to do. I'm gonna put Steep Steps at C. Editor's note, looking back at this should have been in the D category. Oh well. The Dragon one was a good little quest. Nothing too crazy, but it was pretty quick, so I'm gonna put this as B. Next up is Swordburst 3. I like the physics in this game, and I like how this combat system works. I put it in A, but it really should go into C because it does take a good chunk of time to get all the drops from the animals you do need. Next one up is Creatures of Sonaria. This one is okay. It's got a pretty cool little quest line, but it takes kind of a long time, so I'm gonna put this as a C tier. I'm gonna put Greenville as C, I guess. Greenville's not terrible, but it's just a lot of driving, but the objectives are very easy. Next up is Natural Disaster Survival. I did this one in public. I'm not sure if you can do it in a VIP server, but if you can do it in a VIP server, it should be very easy, but you have to go and collect a clock and then survive the round, so I'm gonna put this as B. NDS is always a classic. Next up, we have Car Dealership Tycoon. This one is easy. All you have to do is just go and do a little scavenger hunt with eggs in a city. I had a car that somebody let me borrow, so it made it very easy for me, but they're not hitting that hard, so I'm gonna put this at A. After that, we have Murderers vs. Sheriffs. This one also only should take like 10-15 minutes. You just have to play a couple rounds, so I'm gonna stick this as B. After that, Restaurant Tycoon 2. You just have to serve 100 people, which can take a hot minute, so I'm gonna put this as C. Next up, we have one of the bike obbies, which is Bike of Hell. This one's not too bad. If you like obbies, this is for you. I'm gonna stick this as C, as it can take a good minute, but nothing too crazy. Now we have Maple Hospital. This game glitched for me, and I had to restart the entire thing, so it's kind of aggravating, but this shouldn't take more than 15 minutes, so I'm gonna stick this at C. Next up is the Berry Avenue RP, where you have to go make a smoothie. When I did this on stream, I was so lost for no reason, but this should take like 10, maybe 15 minutes, so it's gonna go in the C category. Elemental Powers Tycoon can be a fun one, but my subscribers absolutely bullied me when I played this. But I like this. I'll put this at B. It doesn't take too long. You just have to complete the Tycoon, which I think took maybe 10-15 minutes. Next up is Military Tycoon. One of the homies had a VIP server, so I was able to go in there and you can fly, which made this in under 5 minutes for me. just have to find 20 crates in the center of the map at the big city, which I can see taking quite a while, so I'll put this at C. Next up, we have Legends of Speed, which this takes probably 3 seconds to do. It is so quick to get this one, so A tier for sure. Next up, we have Breakin' 2, which is a little mission that you have to do. It's a story-based game, so it's all set in stone on what you need to do, but it shouldn't take you more than, I think, 15 minutes, so I'm gonna put this as a C tier. Now we have I'll Be But You're on a Bike. I got really lucky for this. When I loaded into this and did a wheel spin, I got the flying bike, so this made this incredibly easy for me, but I could see this taking a long time, so I'm gonna stick this at C tier as well. Actually, I'm gonna stick this as D tier. It's a fun game, but for timing-wise, for the hunt, I can see it taking a long time, so I'm gonna put it at D. Next up, we have Arm Wrestle Simulator. I wasn't paying attention when I did this on stream, but you can do this in literally 5 minutes. As soon as you go into the Easter event, you have to do 6 quests, and it takes like no time at all, so I'm gonna put this as A tier just because of how fast you can do that one. Next up, we have the one that was incredibly bizarre to me. This one caught me way off guard. Catalog Avatar Creator? Dude, what could be hard about this? Why do I hear death in Catalog Avatar Creator? Yo. Simply be on the winning team of a single match to get the badge. Okay. Why is there a battle royale in a Jesse game? I'm saying, dude, this threw me way off. Like, why is there death in this game? I did not think that I would ever see a day where Catalog Avatar Creator has fighting. Just because of how much it caught me off guard, I'm putting it at S. It has to be. Now we have Pet Sim 99. All you have to do is get to level 20, and if you have a friend that gives you a pet, it makes it a lot faster, but I'm gonna put this as A just due to the fact that I think you can pretty much find anybody to give you a pet that's real weak, but strong for the first zone, and it should take you like 10 minutes, maybe even less. Now we have the Hello Kitty My Cafe. This is another one where you have to serve 100 customers, which this can take a long time, so I'm gonna put it at D. I'm also gonna put the Restaurant Tycoon down at D. Remembering, if you don't have things already built, it does take a good minute, so those I'm gonna put down in the D tier. Now we have the Floor is Lava. When I got it, I was able to claim it. I don't know if multiple people are able to claim it or not. It didn't go away when I claimed it, so I kind of think so. So I'm gonna put this one at B. And this, all you have to do is beat one core blocks map and grab the egg, and you're good to go. Next up is Wild Horse Island. This one, all you have to do is get a horse and then complete a race, but time-wise, it gets into a C. Next up is the Mimic, where you go in, you have to collect a certain amount of eggs and then buy the badge. You just have to avoid a big monster. I'm gonna throw this one into the B category. As long as you're not being targeted by the monster, you should be able to complete that in like 10 minutes. Next up is Strongman Simulator. This is where you have to pick up an egg and guide it through 3 stages of obstacles, which is pretty cool. This isn't anything too hard, so I'm gonna put this at C category. Next up is Cheese Tower Defense. This one was relatively fast. You just have to go and survive the first round of waves, and you're good to go, so I'm gonna put this at B tier. Next up is SpongeBob Simulator. I don't know how you managed to do it, but you made me not like SpongeBob for a little bit, so F. It just took way too much time to do, and I was just sitting there doing absolutely nothing. I just felt like I was dying. The devs killed it. They did a great job with what the game's supposed to be, but I'm just not a fan of it. Now we have Piggy. This one takes a long time to do if you have no idea what you're doing, but I got hard carried by one of the amazing goobers that were in my stream. Heavily appreciate them for that, by the way. I think it got nerfed after that as well, so I'm not entirely sure, but I'm gonna put this one at D, not because of how the game is played, but because of how long it takes to do for the hunt itself. Now there's Twilight Daycare, and I don't care what you say to me, this game's an abomination. Please don't ever, please don't make me play that game again. Now we have Funky Friday. This one's not bad at all. All you'd have to do is just beat like 3 songs or something like that. So I'm gonna put this at B, and doesn't matter if you win or lose. Next up is Tsunami Game. This one's easy. It's just a long time for walking. C tier. Fun game, but oh my gosh, just holding down the W key and just walking. Next up is The Strongest Battlegrounds. Of course, an amazing game. You're waiting for retro players to spawn so you can fight them and hopefully get 12 keys in order to get the UGCs, but takes a hot minute to do, so I'm gonna put this at the D category. Next up is A Wolf or Other, which is basically murder mystery. Same concept, but you just have to grab an egg and survive the game with it, which I could see this taking a long time to do, so I'm gonna stick this in the D category, just because there's only 1 egg per round, and rounds can take up to like 4 minutes or something like that. Next, we have Sonic Speed Simulator, where you have to go around and collect 100 clusters, but speed-wise for the hunt for this tier list, it just took too long, so I'm gonna put it in the D category. Next up is World Zero Dungeons and RPG Adventure. This one, all you have to do is kill things and get drops from the animals. You're hoping for 35 eggs as drops, which it can take a long time to do, so I'm gonna put this in the D tier. Next up, we have Death Ball. This is really cool. I like this one as it is a huge boss fight, and it looks like they coded a whole boss fight for this, so I'm definitely gonna put this in the S tier. It made me feel like I was doing the Bob boss battle from Slap Battles again. Should take maybe 5 to 10 minutes if you get it your first try. Next up, we have Collect All Pets. This game is a relaxed game. It's nothing too fast-paced, nothing like that, but it can take quite a bit for you to get this because I think you need like 30 types of pets, so I'm gonna stick this in the C category. Next one is Emergency Response Liberty County. This one isn't too bad. You just have to do a quick little mission, which it highlights what you need to do. It's like a little scavenger hunt, but it takes quite a long time to do, so I'm gonna put this in the D category. Next up is Drive World. This game, you just go ahead and collect stuff from a junkyard, so nothing crazy, but you can do this one pretty quick, but it also can take a little bit longer, so I'm gonna put this in the C category. Next up is Undead Defense Tycoon. This one, you have to collect 150 eggs, but it can take quite a bit of time if you haven't already gotten any progress, so I'm gonna put that at C. Next game up is I Need More Friends. This one's interesting. It's a story game where you need to collect a certain amount of shards, but this can take a minute, so I'm gonna put this at C. Up next is Dress to Impress. This is not my style of game. They made it easy for hunters. All you have to do is join the game and play 2 rounds, and in those rounds you need to collect bunnies that run around. You're gonna be in this game for 10 minutes if you do it right, so I'm gonna put that at C. After that, we have Deadly Decisions. If you know what the questions are gonna be, this can be very easy and very quick. I'm gonna put this at A. Next after that, we have Car Crushers 2. This one you have to get a couple quests done with this, which can take quite a bit of time, but I'm gonna put it in the C range. Also with Car Crushers, there's a mode where you have to go into, and you can't go back to the main game. You actually have to exit the game and then relaunch the game, so not a big fan of that. But it's not that big of an issue. And after that, we have the Red Cliff City RP. This one's like a small scavenger hunt where you have to go collect like 4 things. This is relatively fast if you just spawn in the plane and go to each object, so I'm gonna throw this into the B category. Up next, we have Lumberjack Simulator. This game is just like a bunch of other simulators where it has like the exact same UI layout and exact same process where you have to defeat a couple bosses and then move on to the next zone. This one also takes like quite a bit of time, so I'm gonna put this in the D category. Following that, we have Big Games Paintball 2. This requires you to get 50 kills, and matches do last long enough to where you can't get 50 kills in one match. I'm gonna put this in the C category. After that, we have Astro Renaissance. This is where you have to go into like a portal and go into like 4 different shards to collect 3 other shards, and there's like a boss battle at the end. This one takes like a long time to do, but it's super simple. I'm gonna put this at the D category. And the next one after that is Doors. This one was really fun. I like the new monsters that were in this, even though I was getting targeted hard, but this can take some time to do if you don't know what you're doing, so I'm gonna put this in the C category. After that, we have Barry's Prison Run Obby, which was fun. You just have to collect donuts along the way. This one does take some time to get, so I'm gonna put it in the C category. And then after that, we have Please Donate, where you have to go and do a quest, and then after that, you have to go mine in the tunnels, which doesn't take too long, but it is long hunt-wise, so I'm gonna put this in the D category. Following that, we do have Project Smash. This game's fun to play, but for the hunt, an object spawns once every 5 to 10 minutes, and only one person can get it, so time-wise, this is gonna take ages. I'm gonna put it in the D category. I put Natural Disaster Survival in the B category, which I think I'm gonna put down in the C category, like thinking of it now. And then after that, we have Weapon Fighting Simulator. This one you have to do like 3 quests. It should take like 10, maybe 15 minutes to do, so I'm gonna put this in like the C category. After that is Warrior Cats. I had this one bug out on the stream, but it's pretty quick. All you have to do is collect 3 eggs, and like 2 were at the spawn for me, so I'm gonna put this in the C category. Next up is Club Roblox. This one you just have to do like a quick obby that takes like under 5 minutes, so this is gonna go into the B category. And then following that, we have Polo Sword. This is another one of those simulators that has sort of the same graphic UI as a lot of the other simulators, and this can take a hot minute, so I'm gonna put this in the D category. And then after that, we have Life Together RP. This game is just odd, but you can complete it in literally a minute. All you have to do is take 10 pictures of eggs that are 10 feet from you. So simple to do, but I don't think this game's a good idea on the platform of Roblox. Next up is Livetopia RP. This game is literally just waiting simulator. It's not difficult at all, but it just requires you to wait. I'm gonna put this in D category, even though I think you can complete it faster than a lot of the other D category items here. I just don't like waiting simulators. And then after that, we have Metro Life. I am definitely not a fan of this game at all. F tier for sure. For this game, you have to get into a hot air balloon and collect things. It's extremely simplistic on what you have to do, but the problem with this is it's so incredibly slow that my brain was just eating itself trying to beat this game, so definitely F tier. After that, we have one of the 2 football games in this. It is Football Fusion. This one is fun to do, but this can take up a lot of time because you have to play 4 quarters, so just because of that, it's going to go into the D category. Next up is Mega Mansion Tycoon. This is just a tycoon where you have to build up enough buying power to unlock things for like what I called a Thanos chest, but it takes a hot minute to get there, so D category. Next up is Adopt Me. This one from start to finish takes like 10 minutes, 15 at max if you're going really slow, so I'm gonna put this in the B category. Next up we have 3008. This was bugged when I first did it, so I got the badge immediately, but they fixed it and now it's objective based, so you can only do objectives at night as well, so I'm only gonna put this in the D category just because it can take a good chunk of time trying to complete objectives. And then after that, we have My Restaurant. This is another one where you have to serve 100 customers, so I'm gonna put this in the D category because it can take a chunk of time. Following that is Escape the Running Head, which this is relatively easy. The heads really shouldn't catch you if you're always jumping, so I'm gonna put this in the C category. It might be borderline B, but I like it at C for now. After that is Survive the Killer. If you know how to finesse the killer, you could do this in your first try like I did, and it's not too terrible, but you're playing against an actual human, so this can cause you to take a lot of time. I'm gonna throw this in the C category. And then we have Brookhaven. This one takes like 2 minutes to do. All you have to do is collect 10 eggs around the map, which is super simple, so I'm gonna throw it into the A category. After that is Bed Wars, and this one is so easy. All you have to do is play one match and get 15 eggs in that match. It's going up in the S tier because it's one of the bigger name games, and it also made it super simplistic, and the game's fun, so S tier for Bed Wars, for sure. Now we have Roblox Total Drama. This one takes a large chunk of time to do, so I'm gonna put this in the D category. You can have a moment where it gets done really quickly, but most of the time I think it's gonna take a large chunk of time, so I'm gonna put it in the D category. Next up we have the survival game. This one's relatively easy. I found the method to beat the Guardian is hit him 3 times and then just jump backwards, and by the time you've hit him that 3rd time and started your jump on that 3rd swing, you can avoid the attack. This one I'm gonna put in the B tier. Next up is Toilet Tower Defense, where you need to do 3 tiers of challenges in order to get the badge. This one's easy, it just takes up a lot of time, so I'm gonna put this in the D category. Up next we have Bayside High School, and in this one you just go do one sheet music using the D, F, J, K keys. This takes like no longer than 5 minutes, so I'm gonna put this up at the A tier. Next up we have Muscle Legends, and this one's easily gonna be an S tier because all you have to do is load it into the game, go to the code section, and type in Muscle Storm 50, and it gives you enough strength to get the badge. So you could get this done in literally like 3 seconds. Next up is Ninja Legends. This is also going to be S tier. This takes all of like 2 minutes to get in there. Just buy like a couple upgrades, which take literally like a minute, and you're good to go. Now we have Emergency Hamburg. This takes like 10 minutes to do. It also doesn't have a loading screen to tell you what you need to do. So I'm going to put this at the C category. Next up is Treasure Hunt Simulator. This one, even with using the codes that are within this game that give you crates and stuff like that, this should take you around like 15 minutes. So I'm going to put this in like the C category. Next up we have Super League Soccer. To get this, all you have to do is play 2 matches in this, and they both last 8 minutes long. This might be D tier, because this is bare minimum 16 minutes, and depending on how many people are scoring, this could last longer. It's super easy, but it's time consuming. And then after that, we have ourselves the GOAT Slap Battles. Of course, this is obviously going into S tier. Definitely not Slap Battles biased. Don't check my channel. And then comes Carry a Friend. This is a 2-player obby. This is really fun to play, but can be very time consuming, so I'm going to put this at C. After that, Spray Paint. This is also going to be a C. It should take you around like 15 minutes, maybe even less if you're really, really fast with it. Actually, it should take around 10 minutes thinking about it, but I like it at C. Following up, we do have ourselves Arsenal, which I really loved this campaign, or this little mission that they had. This one should take you about 15 minutes on your first go, but if you play it like really fast paced, you can get this done in 10 minutes, so I'm going to put this in B. And then after that one is going to be War Tycoon. This one takes a good chunk of time. I'm going to put this in the D category, because the best thing for this is to get a vehicle and then move around the map to try to get your objectives, but it takes a little bit to get to that vehicle, so I'm going to put it in the D category for time. And then we have ourselves the RB Battles minigame, killing off all the rats in the sewer. Loved this event, but it takes a good chunk of time. I'm going to put this at the C category. If you don't fail, maybe 10 to 15 minutes. On our last row here, we have ourselves War Machines next. This one should take you about 10 minutes, so I'm going to put this in C. Actually, maybe 10 to 15 minutes. And we have Lumber Tycoon 2, which all you have to do is chop a tree down and get an egg, and then bring it back to the shop, which should take like 10 minutes, so I'm gonna put that in C as well. It could go for B, but it doesn't have a tutorial really, so I'm gonna say most players might not know exactly where to go. I'm gonna leave it at C. Next up is gonna be the Tower Defense Simulator. This took me literally 8 minutes to beat, so I want to put it in B. Start off with a flamethrower, and then get a minigunner, and just keep upgrading, and you're good, dude. Next up, we have Shindo Life. I had no idea what I was doing when I was streaming trying to get this, but this game should take you around 15 minutes-ish, maybe a little bit longer, depending on how well the people in your game are finding eggs. So I'm gonna place this at C, but you could even put it at D. Next up is SCP Roleplay. This mission is very quick. It may take like 7 minutes to do the mission itself, so this is probably going to go in B category. Next up is Ultimate Football, which is the exact same as Football Fusion, where you have to just sit in there for 4 quarters and then you're good to go, but it takes a long time, so we're going to put it in the D category. After that, we have ourselves Hide and Seek, and this one also is going to take a good minute because you have to win 2 games. I'm going to put this in the C category though, because you can do it a little bit quicker. After that, we have ourselves the Snowboard Obby, which all you have to do is complete 100 stages, so basically the entire thing once and you got it, but this takes around like 10 to maybe 15 minutes. Next up, we have Anime Dimension Simulator. I played Dungeon Quest a long time ago, like one time, and this functions just like that. I don't know which one came first, but they're both like the exact same. One is in medieval times and one relates to anime, so choose your liking. But this takes about 10 to 15 minutes because you have to defeat 2 bosses. Just do the first one twice, easy peasy. Next up, we have Fruit Battlegrounds, which this is definitely going to take you a large chunk of time if you don't have people helping you. Luckily for me, I had the amazing support of my fans there to help me out and get through this really quickly. You need to be level 5, and then you need to get a kill streak of at least 2. And then after that, we have Royal High. This, you just go into this server, and then you have to collect 50 eggs. You should be able to do it in 2 rounds if you spawn in at the right time. If not, you're going to get caught in the middle, and it might take you a little bit longer, but this is a solid B. It shouldn't take you that long to get it. Next up is Blade Ball, where there's 3 objectives you have, but the main one is play 5 rounds, and if you're just normally playing around in those games, you should get the other 2. But those 5 games take a little bit of time, so I'm only going to throw this in the C category. Second to last one, we have have ourselves the gunfight arena. This one's fun, but it's gonna take you a good chunk of time because you have 4 things that you need to collect, and with those 4 things, you gotta get to like 10 or something, and it drops off a player's deaths, so it can take a good minute. And then last but not least, we have ourselves dungeon quest, and this is the exact same as the anime one from earlier, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go and throw this C category. It's the same thing where you just have to go in and defeat 2 bosses. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna be my tier list. This entire thing right here. Yeah. Let me know what your list would look like. I'm interested to see what you put where, because I know there's definitely gonna be people who disagree with where I put different options, and a lot of these are definitely gonna be debatable, but I just tried to be as accurate as I possibly could with it in my head. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this. I hope that all of you have an amazing rest of your day or night whenever you do end up watching this, and I shall see you in the next one. Later.